Okay, this is take 3. Trying to do a video with an 18-day-old is quite interesting. But I wanted to share some verses with you that I was reading this morning because I believe that they are relevant. Excuse my hair. This is mom hair here. But it's relevant to what we're dealing with today. And maybe you're going through the same thing. So 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 7 says, "The end of all things is near." That's pretty intense. But the next part is what I want to focus on. It says, "Therefore, be clear-minded and self-controlled so that you can pray." I don't know about you, but it's very easy to be overwhelmed with what's happening with the lockdowns, the coercion with vaccines, and the closing of churches, and everything that's happening around us. And it's easy to be anxious, and I don't know how you are when you're anxious, but for me, my mind is going 1,000 miles a minute, and it's hard for me to pray. It's hard for me to be focused. It's hard for me to be clear-minded. So this verse is a very good reminder that we need to be clear-minded and self-controlled. How can we be self-controlled and clear-minded? I believe it starts with what we are feeding ourselves. If we're constantly feeding ourselves mainstream media and social media and everything happening in the world, then our minds are going to be overwhelmed. Our hearts are going to be overwhelmed. But we need to feed ourselves with truth, the truth of God's word, the truth of, we need to also surround ourselves with good, healthy community, and we need to be praying. And the only way we can pray is when we have a clear mind. Not the only way, but it does help. Of course, God can handle any emotion and any overwhelmed feeling, and we need to pray in those moments too. Trust me, I have a lot of those, especially with a new baby and everything happening. But I just want to encourage you today that we can do this. We can be clear-minded and self-controlled so that we can pray together. And the next verse is beautiful. Verse 8, it says, "Above all, love each other deeply, because love covers a multitude of sins." We need to love. We need to pray. And the next part of chapter 4 is also encouraging. It says, "Dear friends," chapter 12, or verse 12, "do not be surprised at the painful trial you are suffering, as though something strange is happening to you, but rejoice that you participate in the sufferings of Christ, so that you may be overjoyed when his glory is revealed." Many of us are suffering. Many of us are suffering because we are choosing to go against the narrative that we're being fed, and we're choosing to stand up for Jesus and the church. And it's okay to suffer. It's actually, this is saying rejoice in it. So let's continue to be clear-minded, self-controlled so that we can pray, and above all to love each other in the midst of everything happening and in the midst of our suffering. I hope this encourages you today, and I better go. God bless you.